Okay, it's time for us to talk about what now?
Your food, your medicine.
Both of them cost money.
Well, I think the food is cheaper.
Depending on which village you are listening to.
Well, the food is certainly cheaper. I mean, I know how much my drugs for hypertension cost me.
Well, fact there, but then don't also forget that we're hearing this conversation about bread makers going on strike.
Well.
Anyway, we'll come to that. The research shows that dietary habits influence disease risk. While certain foods may trigger chronic health conditions, others offer strong medicinal and protective qualities. Is the reason more attention is to be given to what we eat. I told you earlier that I'm watching this series on Netflix, Human,
yes.
The World Within. I'm blown away by what I have seen so far, and let's just begin this conversation with Dr. Bisola Kadiku, who is a naturopath and MD, Nature Can Fix You Clinic. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Nature Can Fix You. I love that name.
Thank you.
Particularly since I always hear that everything you need to live a normal life, a happy life, you can find in nature. Just know where to go to get it. The same way that everything you need to cure any ailment in this body is in nature somewhere.
And
Is that true, by the way?
Yes, it is true. You're very correct.
Okay, it's not a myth then. Right.
No, it's not a myth.
Okay.
So,
Nature is complete.
okay.
Complete. So I want to be able to eat well and see the doctor. I'm not going to say my doctor, because if I had been eating well from beginning, I wouldn't have my doctor. So I want to eat well so that I don't go to the doctor. And I'm talking about from when I am this high. Give me a kind of regime that I need to follow.
Very good. You see, just like you said, you don't want to have to see your doctor.
No.
And that is what doctors of natural medicine, that's what they aim. Many times when patients come to my clinic, I tell them, I'm hoping that in the next 6 months, we don't have to see you anymore. And they go like, oh, but I'm hypertensive, I'm diabetic, that I've been taking drugs for the past 20 years sometimes. And I'm still seeing my doctor. I said, it's different here. You see, what nature gives you is, just like I said, complete. Now, what do you need to eat? Or what do you need to stay off from for you to have a very, to have sound health?
Doctor-free life.
Doctor-free life. Yes, yes. But you will not allow us to stay in business.
Well, okay. You too, your aim is to make sure that you reduce it as much as possible, right?
Yes, yes,
Good.
of course.
So we want you to reduce it to the minimum.
Yes. So the first thing I always tell people, stay off processed foods. And they're like, what are processed foods? You know, they Google, they crack their heads. And I say, just wait, just hold on. Think about this, farm to table foods. And they go like, yes. So let's go over it. Let's do it. Let's do this this short exercise. Farm to table. Tell me one farm to table food.
Yam.
Good.
Vegetables.
Good.
Eggs.
All of a sudden, we're answering questions.
Our job is to ask.
How about
Don't
bread?
turn the tables.
All right, okay. How about bread?
It's not.
It's not. How about spaghetti?
No.
Noodles?
No.
Pizza?
No.
Ooh, so take it
certainly
off.
not.
Excuse me? Slow down.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is
that's
Saturday morning. It's family day. We're going to take children out somewhere.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But seriously, reduce it. Just
reduce, not
stick
stop.
to farm to table. And then you
How
have
about-
less
just
problems.
a second.
Some
How-
people
how
are
about-
going to say farm to table is not too tasty now.
Right.
We need a bit of pizza
My
from
yam,
time
my
to
yam
time.
is tasty. My potatoes are tasty.
A little hamburger.
My eba is tasty. My chickpeas is tasty.
How about those vegetables, packed vegetables? Are they processed? Would you classify them as processed?
What do you mean?
The ones that, you know, you go to the supermarket, you see them, they're all, you know, they're packaged. Not even processed.
They're not processed.
Okay, those are
Yeah, I mean, they're just making life easy for you by helping you cut them up.
Okay.
You
And
know?
wash them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
wash them.
You know that you said the bar, you know, is farm to table, but
Yes,
don't
it
forget
is.
that gari is also processed.
Processed.
So
somehow.
what kind of processing?
Well, it is processed.
Is there any preservative, any additives into it?
That's now stepping
No,
it
no,
up.
no, no, no. You see, okay, if you want to say that, then you say don't eat palm oil, don't eat granite oil. And these are the oils that we approve of because these are cold pressed. Yeah, I mean, food has to be processed to a particular point for you to be able to eat it. You can't eat raw cassava. Raw cassava will kill you outrightly. So it has to be processed.
You can't eat raw cassava.
No, you can't eat raw cassava.
Okay, even that one is boiled. The one that
Exactly.
you see them in
Exactly.
slices that
Yeah.
they sell with coconut.
Yes.
Okay. It's
and
boiled.
you know, these
Okay.
traditional people that boil it, they know how to process it to a point where your body can digest it. So, I mean, beyond that, adding anything to it, making it more beautiful, nice for you to eat, you know, like all the processed meats, the salamis and the bacons and all that. I was just reading something up, you know, somebody wrote something to me and was asking me about his meats because I told him that, yes, you can continue eating your red meat because he's one of my patients. I checked him. There's no reason why he shouldn't eat lean meat. And he was asking me, how about salami? How about bacon? How about cold cuts? And I was like, no, these are processed.
Meats.
And I had to explain it to him. So stay off processed meats.
You're talking about meat.
Okay.
Forgive me. I have to go there. We've heard all these kinds of, all these things about eat meat and cancer and all those things. If you eat, you may have heard it before as well, that if you eat certain kinds of meat, if you eat meat, you're gonna have cancer, or it's not good for you at certain age grades. I don't understand.
Red meat.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you read it up on Google. Google is our competitors. All doctors, conventional, natural, they are our competitors, you know. You see, cold meats, like cold cuts and processed meats, are the ones they're talking about. Lean meats are safe, especially in this part of the world where our cows are allowed to graze. As long as you
Natural
allow
grass.
the cats to graze,
Okay.
please allow the cows to
Cows.
graze. It's very important. You know, I don't want to go into politics, but I always
They
keep
don't have to
quiet.
be open grazing. What's important is that they graze.
Let them graze.
In other words,
please.
let them eat
Grass.
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 Okay.
You know, so yes, as long as our cows are allowed to do that and eat natural foods, you don't confine them in some farm where you give them artificial food and change the DNA. You know, yes, our meats are safe. You can eat red meat if you don't have any problem with your heart, if you don't have cancer, if you don't have certain ailments. Yes, if you see your doctor of natural medicine, they'll tell you that you can eat lean meat.
Okay, you mentioned palm oil earlier. Once upon a time, I mean, the shouts about palm oil is very bad for you, it's this, it's that. And then some years later, the same you guys told us, ooh, palm oil is the best thing since sliced bread. In fact, at one point, I remember reading that you can take 1 dessert spoon of palm oil every day, and it will help your body. Please, what is the true position about palm oil?
All right, let me just clear one thing.
Yes.
Patients come to my clinic and they tell me, oh, I stopped eating this because my doctor told me to stop eating it. Or my friend or my colleague told me, oh, it's bad for you. And I always ask them that, who is this person that told you to stop eating it? Did you ask for this person's qualification in nutrition? You know, and I said, and I always tell them, just look behind you. That's my qualification from one of the best nutritional institutes in the world that I attended. So when I talk to you, I am authority talking. So you see, yes, I don't know what you mean by you guys. We guys, no. You see, who is the doctor? You know, a conventional doctor can really not talk about nutrition. They have no right to talk about nutrition because they cannot tell me they spent more than 7 hours of lecture on nutrition in their 7 years of medical study. So we doctors of natural medicine are the ones that are qualified to talk about nutrition. And we have never shifted from this fact that palm oil is one of the best oils to eat because it is cold processed. Just like granite oil, just like coconut oil, just like olive oil. These are the 4 kinds of oils that you will find in my kitchen. No hydrogenated oils.
What is give us an example of a hydrogenated oil?
Soya oil. Don't let me speak too much because the manufacturers are also watching. Canola oil.
Okay.
And all that.
Okay.
They're all hydrogenated oils.
How about this? So okay, we'll be going back and forth, you know. Anyone that she picks, she comes back to. Anyone I pick, I come back to. So you talked about, you know, grass the other time. And one of the ways, unfortunately, that farmers have had to protect, if I can use the term, their produce sometimes is to use pesticides and all those things. In the event that, you know, a farm is protected with pesticides, how much of an effect does that have on the quality of meat that comes from cattle?
Well, I don't know if they spray pesticides on just grass.
Okay, it's a farm.
Remember these guys? I mean, these cows just eat grass.
Oh yes, but we are trying
grass
to
that everybody wants to get rid of.
We're trying to discourage open grazing, so it's closed grazing. They have a ranch, okay, and you know, stuff like that. Maybe generally
That's
speaking.
why I said I don't want to go political.
We don't want to go political.
Because my view, when people are screaming about the cows are eating our food, I'm like, okay, fine. Then let's turn into America and have more cancer cases. You know, as long as you do not allow them, as long as you confine them in one field and give them, you see, they can't get enough food from that one field. You start giving them artificial food. Then the number of cancer cases will increase in Nigeria. That is the truth.
Okay, so is there no way to produce the grass from wherever and bring it to them where they are without additives?
I leave that to the government to think about because I travel from Lagos to Ibadan, and what I'm seeing is different. I'm looking at bush, looking at lush green, and I'm thinking that why can't government come and harvest and, you know, give these cows to eat?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Okay. Still on the issue of pesticide, regarding beans specifically, a few years ago we began to hear that farmers use pesticides on their produce, and especially beans, that because of what they use, the beans do not have weevils anymore. How much beans should we be eating when you're talking about farm to table, because beans is one of the good stuff we're supposed to be eating. But now we've been told that they've been treated one kind, two kind, and we should run away from them.
Thank you very much. You see, on this issue of beans, it's a big problem. A big problem in the sense that I'm having to tell patients now that you need to find a way to wash off these pesticides, because it is a big problem. I've had some patients eat beans and they can't go to the toilet. They have constipation.
I have had beans and I've thrown up several times.
So I try to tell them, because you see, I don't eat the normal beans that everybody eats everywhere. You know, I found out about the there's one Ibile beans. It's called Ewaibiji.
Ah, the black ones.
Yes, the black ones, and they are pesticide free, because weevils don't affect them. They don't attack them anyway.
True. True.
So, and you don't get a lot of it around. So, because I have done my own research, and now that I'm coming on TV, I'm sure everybody will go and start looking for it. And then someone like me won't get it to buy
It will now
anymore.
become expensive.
So that's my own secret.
Ah.
So I stock it a lot. Once it's out, it's usually out once a year. I'm not going to say it that one. So that I can don't blame me. I have to keep eating it. Don't worry, we'll talk about it after.
Okay, off camera.
Okay.
Okay, we have just about 2 minutes. There are young people who have parents, whose parents are watching right now, and they want to try to protect the children from having or falling victim of certain ailments in the years to come. They have fallen victim of those things, and they're watching from various parts of the country at this moment. What are your recommendations for them? We get the farm to table thing. It's going to be quite a marathon for people to make that transition. So having this conversation starts the whole process for them. But what should they be telling and teaching and taking the children through as they build up to their own future?
Teaching them how to cook, eat less sugar. Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah. Eat less sugar. Teaching them how to cook. How to cook. Cooking is very important. If you cook more in your house, you control what you
goes
eat.
yeah.
Exactly.
What goes in your food.
Yes. It's very important.
Oh, okay.
In terms of, okay, go ahead.
No. I'm just processing that. And it makes sense, because you go to Mama Put, you don't know how much Ajinomoto she's put in your food.
MSG.
Oh, you want to go there? You just talked about MSG now.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
MSG is I don't have to say the
No,
meaning.
don't but the generic
Food
thing.
additive.
Yes. It's a food additive that is found in seasonings. You know, people use it a lot to enhance the taste of their cooking. I would say to change the taste of the cooking, because I don't cook with it, and yet you get the taste of my cooking. And I will tell you, you know, a history of Maggi. Maggi itself. Maggi was discovered or was formulated many years ago by some man who decided to feed the less privileged people, his servants, all his slaves, you know, to feed them with all these flavorings, because he couldn't give them meat, chicken, or anything to eat. And of course, he didn't care how much of the chemicals he was giving them. And it was actually destroying these people. And then how it became commercial and accepted by the whole world, honestly, nobody understands. The day I read it, I was like, oh my God, many people don't know this. This information is not out there. And yet people are scrambling for it. Every enlightened person wants to use Maggi now. They don't want to use
Which is now a generic word for your bouillon
Exactly.
cube.
Yeah.
for any kind of seasoning.
Yeah.
Any bouillon cube
Well,
is now.
he started it, and then so many are now, coming up with it, manufacturing all these things, adding a lot of MSGs in it, and it is really hurting people, but they don't know how much. Some would even tell you, oh, I use just a little bit of this MSG. And I asked them, have you ever had a little bit of poison before?
Poison is poison.
Poison is poison.
It sounds like you just decided that today you want to bust so many people's theology about
I'm
food.
sorry.
We haven't, and I'm almost certain that we haven't even started, have we?
No, we haven't.
Oh, Christ. But for now, we have to stop where we are now. Bisola Kadiku, Dr. Bisola Kadiku is a naturopath, doctor of natural medicine, and MD Nature Can Fix You Clinic. Thank you so much
Thank
for your time
you.
this
Thank you
morning.
for having me.
And for
you very
disturbing
much.
our healthy minds about the food that we should be eating. Enjoy this music. It's good for your soul. It's good for your soul.